Hey, what's up guys and gals? Jesse here from Long Lost Robots. Today, I want to talk about something in my home studio that I feel you could use in your home studio. So really one of the main things I want to do is talk about really what I feel is inexpensive gear that could really be indispensable to you in the long term as it comes to plugins and workflow and time in the studio and mixing and getting your mixes done faster and easier so you can complete those projects that you're not completing. But how can I when the bills are unpaid and there's just enough food to last for a week? So today I want to talk about a hardware software hybrid, and it is the Softube Console 1. So I've had this for a few years, and it is just an integral part of my workflow these days. As you can see on the screen, we'll pop that up. I use it on every track that I have. Right now, I just have like some acoustic tracks that I did. Just for example here, as I'm using this Console 1, and I actually use this little MXL mic for just to record one of the takes, and I use an SM57 on another one. We'll talk about it here in a little bit, but I want to show you the reason why I use the Softube Console 1 on everything is the main workflow, and here is the plugin display. So as you can see, this is the basic workflow. It is the stock plugin that comes with the Console 1, the channel strip that comes with the Console 1, and it is the SSL 4000. It is modeled after a hardware-based or straight hardware mixing board, and it's a classic mixing board. And you know, my knowledge on that is pretty ignorant, but it's so far it's been great. I love the sound of it, and I know Softube just works their hardest to emulate this hardware. And so immediately, guys, let's go over just the hardware itself. And really quickly, you can see there's your displays on how you want to see the Console 1. So let's go ahead and so there's your on and off. I don't want to see it. I want to see it. And then there's actually different modes, and there's been an update lately, and I'm not even sure on all, how all the new details of the update, but this is really cool. I'm really liking this. There's another little kind of half one here. Then you got like your little tiny one here. And this is kind of cool. So you can just kind of see volume wise what's going on as well without having to have your main mixer up, or you can have this here. Usually on Logic Pro, I'll have my mixer over on another screen, but for this video, we're just going to have it here. And so there's all these different modes for the Console 1 to see the screen. So immediately what I love about Console 1 is it puts multiple plugins immediately on every channel strip, but they're not all on. I have to turn them on, which is great. So CPU is low and all of that, right? So immediately it's putting the same channel strip, the same EQ, the same compressor, the same shape, the same, everything, the same, just everything on every channel strip. And I cannot tell you how easy it is just to not think about it anymore, and you just work in an old school fashion where you just have your mixer board out and there's your channel strips and there you go, right? Even your saturation is on this. So immediately there's like at least 4 plugins on every channel strip, and again, they're off until you turn them on. So we haven't even gone over the sound yet, but let's look at the hardware again, okay? So you have your displays, you have your page, because once you hit 20 channels, you're going to need a page up, right? So here's all your tracks, okay? And then you have immediately, you can group tracks together, you can copy tracks, which is great. So you can copy a track to another track, you can group tracks together, work on all tracks simultaneously, which is great. And then so you have your, just your easy left to right, order, and you can change those orders here. So equalizer, your shape and your compressor, then your shape, compressor, equalizer, shape, equalizer, compressor. Really cool. A couple of things can affect other things. So you can have like your shape to compressor off, which it is, because you can even have like filters to compressor. You have your phase button, and that's really cool. But it works in Here's your input. So it's very simple here. Here's your input. You can see on the screen, it affects your input gain, and that really speeds up your, so for gain staging's sake, it really immediately you're looking at your input and your output, right? So here's your immediate high cut, low cut. You have your shape, which is usually more of a gate, and it used to be until the updates have been. It's been so much more than a gate. I'll talk about that later. You have your 4-band equalizer in a sense. It's four frequency equalizer. You have your compressor. You have your drive and saturation. So you can usually just a little bit of drive, a little bit of character, and of course each channel strip. There are multiple channel strips. So I have other channel strips here, as you can see. Here's Empirical Labs Track Pack. I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to do a video on the Weiss Gambit series, so check for those here in a little bit. So right now we're using the original channel strip that comes with the console one. Guys, let's check it out. Let's have some fun. And in the end, I hope you just learn how you could easily speed up your workflow if you just even mimic what's going on here, and then you'll be easily able to look at what's going on for every track immediately. And that's what I just love. I can just see what's going on immediately with all plugins. Let's listen to it. I got a little bit of acoustic, like I said, that I recorded with this little MXL 990 mic. This is like a 20-year-old mic. It's one of the originals. It's a cheap mic, but it's great for podcasting. I threw it in front of the guitar. So let's see what happens, and let's see how we can maybe make a decent sounding. The guitar has brand new strings on it, so super bright. Let's see what we can do with it. Without further ado, let's jump in. Let's have some fun and see what we can do with this acoustic guitar. All right, guys. So it's just a little riff. Needs to be tamed. It's a pretty aggressive riff. So we can just start immediately going to the input and bring that up just a little bit, so we can get that nice gain staging going. And again, I haven't even touched. Well, here's the channel itself. So I can bring that down, maybe the input a little bit, because we want to keep that channel strip nice and high as much as possible, right? So right now, let's just go to the equalizer. I can bring that down. I'm going to create a shelf. So there's my shelf. I can just bring that down, and I can have it affect a little less. Tame down some of those strings on that acoustic. They're so bright. I can also even just get some of maybe that rumble, just a little bit around 50, right? And then I can even maybe just get some of this mid out of here. But I can go ahead and just get a little surgical with it. This SSL isn't very tight, but I can definitely get pretty close with that. Just get rid of some of that. Maybe I'll widen it up, widen that spectrum up. And that warms the guitar up a little bit. It's so bright. So we can bring down even those low mids down, watch. Surgical with it. Look at that, guys. I hope you don't mind that little kind of crossfade that I have when it loops. It's just to kind of go easy on our ears. You know what I'm saying, guys? Just take it easy on those ears. So look at that. Took a lot of that harshness away. Right? And it's just a quick, just using my headphones to mix this, you know what I mean? But let's tame that a little bit too. And let's get the compressor going. And I don't want a fast attack. Let's let some of that breathe, right? So I can get a nice good ratio on that. Let's hold it. We don't need it doesn't need a pump. And I'm still learning a lot about compression, you know what I mean? I'm very new. But if I can kind of squash this just a little bit, tame some of those, it's kind of the unevenness of that acoustic, how quick I did it. Go ahead and get a little drive on there, a little saturation. Look at that. get a little warm almost. If I overdrive it, it'll get real bright. So you can take that down a little bit. And then get the output out. And let's see where we're at. Here we're at here. It's not bad. I'm at like Unity over here, right? 0. I get more control over my fader. Yeah, my fader. Look at that. Not too bad, guys. So you can see how quickly. Let's turn that down a little bit, but I want to keep it on. You can see how quickly my workflow is, and I still use my eyes, but I feel I use my ears way more often than anything, and that's great. I can maybe kind of pick out a frequency and then just start affecting it here with the knob and just kind of close my eyes and maybe sit back and start hearing things, you know. And I love that workflow and that old school feel that I grew up with. And what I grew up with was very minimal tools and getting the best take you can get first and manipulating it later on. You know what I'm saying, guys? But just why I use the Console One is just for that reason, is the simplicity, the not thinking about plugins that I need anymore. And of course I will, put some plugins and, on tracks that I need, especially like maybe a sum where I'm summing a bunch of guitars together, and, I'll put maybe something on there to kind of like, glue all those tracks together in a sum. But I use the Console One specifically on just every track. And again, here's another track that I have. It's a whole nother different type of channel strip from a different company, and that works with Softtube. And I'm gonna have to do a video about the Weiss, just a solo video on that alone, and of course the Imperial Labs track pack. And it's an amazing channel strip. It's very new as well. Anyways, guys, before I start rambling on, I'm going to go ahead and maybe end the video and show you some really cool stuff that the Console One does. In the shape section alone, they've been updating and upgrading a lot of your ability for that little track or really section in your arsenal. And of course, it only works with Softtube plugins, and I like that because I like paying for quality, and to me, Softtube is quality. So one thing that they have been doing, I just do my little fine shift button right here, right? And what we're going to do is go back to my track that I was working on and check this out. I'm going to go to shape. So I can definitely go in and maybe use the de-esser on this and maybe tame some of those frequencies down, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to have some fun. And let's put the tape on there, the tape plugin. It's an awesome tape emulator from Softtube. It's amazing. I need to do a video on that alone, but let's go ahead and check that. Let's press OK. Yes, OK. And let's have some fun and see if we can just kind of warm it up a little bit. Let's get that volume back up. And let's go ahead and color amount. The B is usually warmer. We do the color type. Your speed and your stability. It's very subtle. You do the color amount. It's very subtle. And you can wobble that out. Listen to that. Wow. Crazy. Guys, check it out. Just bring that back down a little bit to reality. Get that stability. Let's do a little A and B. It's very subtle. So look how bright that is. Listen to those strings and watch this. Tames it down a little bit, just calms that down. And let's go to the B. those strings down a lot. But this is just having some fun. I don't use that tape emulator on everything like this. I do like to use it as a glue and on a sum, but too much fun. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope you've learned a few things, not only about the Softube Console 1 system. Some of these plugins are being made so you can use without the hardware. Now, to me, it was exclusive with the hardware, and that's cool, but these guys, they have to be smart and make channel strips that are exclusive for everybody who does not own the hardware as well. So I get it. I respect it. I respect the hustle. They need to stay in business. So there's some cool channel strips that you can use without the hardware. Check them out. I believe the Weiss is that way, and I believe the American Class A is that way, and the British Class A, I believe it's the Class A. British Class A is that way as well. So, and they just did that, so you can use it for you can use it without the hardware. You can use it in their amp room. You can use it with the console one. Really super cool. Anyways, guys, I'm going to ramble on about how much I love this stuff and how much I'm having fun learning more about sound and engineering. Take care. I hope you're making some beautiful music out there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and spread the word. I know it's a little slow out there right now, but hit me up in the comments below. Talk. Everybody help each other out. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. Squash that thing. Now watch, check this out. Little parallel compression. You can open that up a little bit more. Let that original sound come through. Way cool. Come on, guys. That's cool. Take care. I got to get out of here. Later.